What's up, everybody? It is CALLOUS Invitational Round 6 Winners Bracket content, and that, of course, means that the winner here is guaranteed a top 3 and therefore a money finish. The money, as you guys know, the insane prize pool means even for third place it'd be over $400, and obviously they have potential to do a hell of a lot more than that. They can win the whole tour, which would be worth over $1,000 with our $2,000+ prize pool. Now, the number that I really want to clear, because I'm a greedy man, is 2,200 to beat Blunder Tour. So if you guys want to still contribute before the tour ends, there are still several more weeks. You can absolutely still do that, and it would be much appreciated. This match, there's some history here. Star has made money in this tour. Marco has not. They played in this exact same round back in CI2, winners semifinals, which went the way of Star en route to what was a third place finish for him, the only time he's ever made money in this tour. Gilbert Arenas, that's Marco P, has never made money in this tour. He's made a run. A couple other times he hasn't really made runs. This is the best he's ever done, I believe, right in line with CI2. That time around, he lost then and lost the following round and fell short of the money. Obviously wants to do it differently this year. And then they also played twice in SPL, including the final tiebreak, and Star won both of those times. So Marco here does not have a good track record against Star in major matches that I'm aware of. That certainly doesn't mean that he can't beat him, but it hasn't gone that way in their previous encounters. Now, the stakes arguably are higher than they've ever been. And, well, if you win this one, the most recent and the most important one, perhaps that invalidates some of the old ones. But Star coming into this tour, a consensus favorite, if not the consensus favorite. In fact, according to our survey, he's the person you guys think is the most likely to win this tournament. That's obviously a tough opponent to face in this position, but one of these guys is guaranteed a top 3 finish and at least 400, if not more dollars. Let's find out who it's going to be. We are still in the best of 3 stages, and here is game 1. Stars on the bottom, Marco as Gilbert Arenas on the top, and they both just have a T-tire. And that becomes a Kuhn on a tire. That is a non-CB brick break from Marco, but nevertheless he's out of the way, and we have the unusual stuff immediately on turn 2, a Ludicolo coming in for Marco P. Star keeping it seemingly a lot more standard as Bliss comes in. Ice Beam is interesting, not sure what the prediction was there. Maybe he thought something like a Salamence would have come in on a Leech Seed or a Grass attack, or maybe he thought a Celebi would come in. Or maybe he was just fishing for a freeze. Either way, it bounced off Bliss and didn't do much else. Rachi in for Marco. Couple body slams. Does not find the power he's looking for on what we see as a non-lum tar, so a little bit unlucky. 60-40 that would happen, but he didn't get there. Ludicolo comes in, eats an Earthquake, Leech Seeds, and instantly dies to what looks like Hidden Power Bug. So, as cool as Ludicolo is, we didn't get to see it do much of anything this game, wasn't particularly effective, and died pretty early on. Early lead for Starmaster. Hidden Power Grass, from what seems to be a mixed tar, has both Brick Break and HP Grass, so I would assume it has things like Crunch, or Ice Beam, or Fire Blast in the back. There's Ice Beam, so I would think the last move is Fire Blast, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And a damage roll situation ends up being crucial. First one does 52, leaving the doll at 55, so he's a good chance to live another one, but then the next Ice Beam does do 55 and kill him. Looked like it mattered because it looked like it put him out of Doug range, but as it turned out, it didn't. Doug Trio got him from 100% anyway, so I assume we're looking at an Adamant Doug from Starmaster. And after all that dust settles, it leaves us in a 5-4 position with Starmaster on top. He's got a Crocoon here, getting a Surf Off in his sleep against Aerodactyl, but that does not deter Marco from staying in. And he doesn't go for it that turn. Now Dougie comes in to die to Earthquake. Is there just nothing to switch into Aerodactyl for Starmaster? I mean, Cheetar and Jirachi are both weak to the Earthquake that he was locked on, and the Coon was low, so maybe Aerodactyl's really a problem for Star. He's now trying to get his tar through an Endeavor Pert, who at this point is going to eat his Salac Berry. Endeavor going to get Blissey down to just 10%. That looks like it's just fodder. And yeah, as long as the hydro pump doesn't miss, and it does not, Blissey goes down. Marco has taken the lead despite his poor start. Endeavor and Ice Punch, sure, but severe damage on the way out. And what stops the Aerodactyl now? Looking like a whole lot of nothing. There's Earthquake. T-Tar's going to have to survive, and he does. And Hidden Power, good enough. Doesn't want to risk the Rock Slide miss. Leaves us in a 2-2, but here's Meta on cleanup duty. 2 Earthquakes later, we should be done here if he outspeeds the Coon. And he does not. The Coon is faster, but he's got the boom, and he's going to win anyway. And that is going to send us to Game 2 with a 1-0 lead for Marco P. Trying to get ahead of Star, who he's had so much trouble with in big matches in the past. Could this be the time that it goes differently? Certainly off to the start that he wants. Got the Game 1 lead despite the poor start and the unimpressive Ludicolo showing. Can he get there one more time? Star, super capable of rattling off 2 in a row. One of the best ADVers, possibly, arguably, the best ADVer in the world right now. Obviously someone who can win 2 games in a row. Marco has got to try to hold on and get Game 2. Not even let it get to Game 3 if he can help it. Let's see if Marco can do exactly that. Here's the second game. Star on the bottom, Gilbert Arenas, Marco P on the top. This time it's Tar again from Marco, but it's met by a Salamence from Star. Intimidate relevant in that matchup. Neither one comfortable. They switch. Now we have a Mence on a Meta, which becomes a Bliss on a Mence. A lot of switching. No actual attacks yet. Now it's Bliss on Bliss, and we get a kind of sort of attack. It doesn't do damage, but it's a move. T-Wave coming down from Star. Hitting Bliss. Doesn't matter. And here comes the double blob squad from Starmaster. The Blissey and the Lax on the same team here. Coon switches in. And a +1 for the Lax via Curse. Got to be careful about self-destruct here. Even the body slams would do a decent amount at +1. And Reflect from Marco. Baiting the boom. Good thing Star didn't pull the trigger there. He would not have been happy with that. Reflect, very uncommon on Coon, but really relevant in this situation, obviously. So there's a second Curse, and he shows that he has returned, not Body Slam. The Surf's pretty underwhelming, though, at 15%. And there's Curse number 3 for this Lax, getting big. 2 more turns of Reflect. Surf 16%. And now the returns are starting to hurt even through the Reflect. 30% there, not bad. 16% again. And it is a Rest Lax. So Curse, Return, Rest. Interesting. Does Marco have a plan? Goes to Mence. But I don't know. I mean, I guess hopefully it's Roar Mence. Because even if it's CB, which we now know via Sand showing lefties that it's not, Brick Break wouldn't be that exciting. And in fact, it is a Roar Mence. Not very common, but certainly quite useful in this situation. He switches it up at this point to Brick Break. Interesting that he's willing to stay into Magneton there. And Star has shown that he has a Magdoll with Blissey. Unusual. A very safe defensive Magdoll with the Lax certainly as one of its biggest win conditions. An interesting choice, and it looks like a matchup fishy choice at the wrong time. Magdoll, of course, designed to destroy Spike's teams, but, I mean, I don't know Marco's last, but I'm thinking it's like a Dugtrio or something. I'm not really seeing, could be like a Dugtrio or a Jirachi in the back for Marco, but I really, really doubt that it's Skarmory. It could be, but if it's not, then Starmaster has matchup fished the anti-Spikes into not a Spikes team, and therefore should not be favored here. Now, granted, the Lax could still win him the day. Based on what we've seen from Marco, it does look like a threat that he doesn't have a fantastic switch into, but he's not dead to rights into it by any means. He has maybe a Boom in the Doll. He has a Brick-Breaking Salamence. He has a Reflect Coon. He's got some play against it. The T-Tar, we haven't seen anything, but if the T-Tar is physical, and I'm thinking it's special with Pursuit based on the presence of the Coon and the Salamence that both want Gengar to not be there, but if the T-Tar is physical, then that also can threaten the Lax. Here comes Salamence with an Intimidate, and here comes Curse, so effectively +1 defense here. His speed doesn't matter, and his attack is back where it would have been. good chunk on return, 59%. That's pretty good chip there before getting roared out. Now the Blissey has not shown Wish, but she could possibly help heal the Mence up. Coon pretty low here, but Doll doesn't go for the cheesy boom. If Doll's not faster there, it's hard to boom, but if Doll is faster, it's really tempting to click. I mean, at least Earthquake there, but maybe boom. And now we see Marco's last poke, Rachi, which is one of the things that I thought that it might be. Not a spiker. This very well may have Wish, however, to maybe heal some of those things that have taken chip damage. And Star shows that its last move, Earthquake. So it's interesting. The Lax obviously not his only win condition because he can't actually hit Gengar, and he doesn't have a Pursuit user unless we're looking at Pursuit Metagross, which is not the world's most reliable Gengar removal tool, but it could have that. Doll is faster than Meta here, and hey, it is Pursuit Metagross. That Pursuit, as you can see, very underwhelming. 19% on Claydol. Not going to get it done. It doesn't really get it done against bulky Gengars either, but here we are. Star thinks that it's going to be good and reliable enough. Hidden Power now, blanking against Rachi. It's shown Wish, so not clear if that's Hidden Power, Grass, or Flying. I think it's actually Flying because that just feels like too much damage to be Grass. Grass would do like negative 50 against Rachi. So we're looking at a physical Wish user of some kind. It's shown Wish, Earthquake, HP Flying, and the last move could be something like Brick Break or Rock Slide, or I guess it could even be like Toxic or something. Hell, it could be Protect to go with the Wish, but some kind of physical Wish user for Starmaster. Dragon Claw and Psychic respectively. Critical hit on Brick Break from Marco. That obviously mattered. Here's the pullback. And it's going to be Meta now, but that crit definitely mattered. Star on the back foot now, scrambling to find an answer to the Mence. And he switches his own Mence in on Fire Blast. Great pivoting from Star, but man, the Mence a real threat from Marco now that the Blissey has taken so much damage. That's Hidden Power, which, I mean, if there's any doubt, which there shouldn't have been, we now know it's HP Flying, not Grass. And Marco makes that switch to make sure Star doesn't try to sneak his Blissey, and no way, no how is he going to be allowed to do that. He goes Fire Blast, and Meta goes down. Marco's starting to take over. Every time he gets the Mence in, it's a problem for Starmaster. He goes to his own Mence. Hidden Power whiffing against T-Tar here. T-Tar does have lefties for Marco, but he doubles back to Mence again, and it's sniped out by Starmaster. Great play there. Calls the bluff, calls the double switch. Starmaster digging himself back into this game with that pickoff. Now, it doesn't change the fact that his Blissey is still very low from before, and he's either going to have to get it in exactly when the other Bliss comes in, or it's going to be resigned to being fodder. See if he can manage to get a soft-boiled off. Going to be difficult to do. He's going to get his Lax blown on here. And Blissey going to be the follow-up. If it has S-Toss, that'll be good enough against a 13% paralyzed Lax. And Star's going to let it go. Now we end up with Bliss on Bliss. Star gambling that either his is faster or he wins the speed tie. Marco not playing that game, especially after the sand showed that Starmaster likely was faster. So he switches T-Tar in on the soft-boiled. Now it's a T-Wave. We know it is a non-Lumtar. We've already seen the lefties, but he's going to dance up anyway. Rock Resist Magneton coming in. Here comes the Hidden Power bouncing off. Best thing he can do is T-Bolt here and cross his fingers for full para. But no, it's non-Earthquake DD-Tar. So Magneton is actually going to be good enough here. Magneton not exactly a T-Tar counter, but in this case, apparently it is. And that's going to prompt Marco out. We've stabilized again at equilibrium, 4-4, Bliss on Bliss now. Soft-boiled from Star and Aromatherapy for Gilbert Arenas, getting rid of the para from the T-Tar. Here comes S-Toss from both of them. T-Tar at 48%, but I mean, I don't know, it maybe could get one more DD off and make a push. Coon at 100, Rachi at 50%, and then on Star's side we have the healthy Mence, the 39% Doll, and the 44% Magneton. So for the most part, just about everything banged up between these two guys. Obviously, the Blissies are healthy, and then you've got the Ments and the Coon that are healthy, but a lot of things with chip damage on them in this match. And neither one apparently is comfortable switching into an opposing Bliss. We've got a slap fight between the nurses here. Ice Beam and S-Toss. Now, S-Toss and S-Toss. This might not be the most exciting sequence, but in tournament play, you just have to do whatever the optimal play is. You just have to do whatever is going to most likely lead you to victory. It's not about the viewers. It's not about excitement. You make the play that you think is going to get you there. And if neither one thinks they have a good switch into Bliss, then here we are. Marco breaks a boring stalemate by getting a freeze here. That should force the action. Here's Magneton. And that comes into an S-Toss and finds itself at just 3%. I think it came in trying to come in on the T-Tar, but that is not the way that worked out. And we go back now to Bliss on Bliss. The stalemate continues until one of them gets another freeze. And that is what they're both going for. The damage on Ice Beam, beyond irrelevant, 9%, 11%, who cares? This is strictly about the 10% freeze possibility. We'll probably see a soft-boiled here from at least Star, possibly Marco as well. No, he makes the aggressive play of T-Wave just in case Marco had tried to sneak something in on the obvious soft-boiled turn. Will he do it again? Nope, he goes soft-boiled, and that was the right play because Marco didn't try to switch something in, but it is again Marco who is luckier with freezes, and Blissey for Star is going to be forced out. Magneton picked off here by Ice Beam. Marco retaking the lead. Now Doll threatening a nurse moment here. See if Marco allows it. But it's a double back, and Marco would not have allowed it. It would have been a blow onto the T-Tar had that turn played out. So now it's Bliss on Bliss yet again. I mean, this is how it goes when you have Magdoll against a non-Spikes team. Not only do you probably not win, but the match takes forever, and that's what we're looking at here. Another possible chance to blow on Bliss. And Marco this time lets it potentially be, but he soft boils on the Earthquake instead. And again, Star does not pull the trigger. The blow there would have been on Coon had he gone for it, and it's now Coon on Bliss. And back to Bliss on Bliss. Tossing that big egg-carrying fat nurse. Blissey's got to have some pipes to be able to lift another Blissey. But then again, I think the Pokedex thinks that Blissey is actually light, which makes no sense to me. Who knows? Pokemon doesn't make sense. Back to this, trying to Ice Beam each other. This time it's Star that gets the freeze finally. What does that change about the match? Let's find out. He goes to Ments is what he decides. And that ends up with Ments on Coon. I guess you can click Hidden Power here and hope for a crit. 20%. That, that doesn't seem that exciting to me. And now we're looking at 12% with the Reflect. Coon seems like a huge issue here, is the bottom line for Star. I mean, he can drag this out a while, and he can certainly stall it for a long time with Blissey, but how do you ultimately beat this Coon? Maybe he should have tried to blow up on it when he had the chance. I mean, it's easy to say that, because what if he had blown up on basically anything other than Coon? He's fucked, right? He has to guarantee that the blow does actually hit the Coon when it's not reflecting. So, I mean, easier said than done, but man, long term, how does Star get through Suicune here? How do you beat this thing in what is shaping up to be a longer game at 86 turns and counting? I don't know that he does. And if Marco does win this game, whether it's through the Coon or otherwise, here's a crit opportunity for Star. Doesn't get it, but that's one way to beat the Coon. But yeah, if Marco does win this game, it'll be a 2-0 series victory for him. Star wouldn't be eliminated. He would go down to the lower bracket, but that would be a guaranteed top 3 in the money finish for Marco and a much-needed victory against a player that he has struggled against repeatedly in big matches in Starmaster. It would make the tournament favorite have to play a couple more matches before getting himself that cash money. S-Toss and Ice Beam. PP could be a factor here. If we're really going long, especially when we have the Pressure Mon and Coon on the other side, we could start looking at PP here. Ice Beam's only 5 left for Marco, but he's pretty good on all his other moves. And then over here, we've got 10 soft boileds, 9 ice beams for Starmaster. And I mean, I hate when I start talking about PP, because you know that as the viewer, that might lead to a long game. I mean, we're certainly going over 100 turns here. We're at turn 95 here, and we don't seem super close to done. I don't know if this is going to be like a 400 turn grind fest, but looking like a longer game here. Bliss on Bliss, not all that exciting, but if they play the PP game, Marco will clearly win out in the end. Not only because he has an extra poke, but he's got the Coon with pressure. Star has no such thing. I'm having a hard time finding how Star wins here. The Mence is going to have to just be perfect and get a timely crit or two, I guess. But doesn't seem like any other good way for forward momentum. And this is just, again, a flaw of the Magdoll archetype. It's really passive. It's a matchup fish team. When you don't get the matchup, a lot of the time, you have a hard time closing games. And we're seeing that here. Another potential issue, we haven't seen him in a while to talk about it, but this Jirachi could also be a problem. It's the Calm Mind, Wish, Thunder, presumably Ice Punch. Have we seen Ice Punch? Nope, Psychic. So Thunder, Wish, Psychic, X. Probably Calm Mind is the last move. If so, what do we do about that? It's less of an issue than the Coon because the Claydol obviously is immune to Thunder and resists Psychic, and he can Earthquake him back. So, like, it's not as urgent of a threat, but, like, the doll itself is not that exciting. If you need the doll to beat the Coon with a boom or whatever, where does that leave you against the Rachi? The Rachi itself could be an issue. The Coon is a bigger issue, but I mean, the fact that you have both of them is an even bigger issue. Well, we're well over turn 100 now. We've crossed 107, 108. Not seeing an ending in sight, but I'm also not seeing an ending in which Starmaster wins. He's just going to have to find critical hits. Possibly multiple of them, to be honest with you. There's a crit. Oh, that would have been a wonderful opportunity. Had Marco gotten greedy there and gone for Calm Mind or Reflect, the Coon dies to the sand there, which would have been amazing and would have been a window back into the game for Star, and it is exactly that kind of thing that he needs. Luck plus greed from Marco to catch up. He got the luck, but he didn't get the greed. Marco got the rest off instead of trying to get cute, and it's just going to make it really, really hard for Star. There's T-Wave. Certainly Para could be a path to victory. Surf, sure. Not, he doesn't reflect there. He doesn't want to let the Salamence come in. If it does come in, he wants to punish him. He wants to get him with Surf. And there's full power. This is a wonderful window. He crosses his fingers. If full power happens again, the Coon is dead. No! Opportunity, but can't get there. Stranger things than 2 full powers in a row have certainly happened. A golden window for Starmaster. He's had 2 teensy-tiny chances to kill the Coon with either Marco Greed or Cooperative RNG, but neither one gets there for him. The Coon getting harder and harder to deal with. Rest and S-Toss respectively. It says he's got 15, but he really has like 10 or less because all of these against the Coon cost him 2 PP. And unfortunately, the PP counter on Showdown, for better or worse, intended or not, does not reflect what pressure is doing, which I think is intentional because I guess that's how it works on the cartridge. But that's something that I personally would change and go against the cartridge, just as like a human quality of life change. Regardless, we rage on here as we pass 1 1/4 turns. And the Coon looks unstoppable at this point. He can't even really T-Wave him because if Marco wants to, he can just insta-rest every time he wakes up and not even give that opportunity. Now Doll coming in, threatening to blow once the Reflect goes down. And Star unfazed, Blissey back in. At this point, Star might be thinking about not using PP. And he immediately rests to not even give him a chance to T-Wave him. Star tries it, but Marco all over it, doesn't let it happen. Looking bleak. Looking bleak. Star here is going to need probably running crits, and I don't even know if that's good enough. Gonna wish at this point Kuhn due to wake up this next turn. Here's Bliss. And the wish just blanks. I mean, it would have negated a surf, but Marco didn't even. He can't rest, so a T-Wave will get off here at very least. No, Star desperate. Fishing for freeze at this point. Power no longer good enough. And yep, Marco, nope, fuck this, I'm resting. And the T-Wave once again simply fails. Now Menson again. Star trying everything he can. Trying every opportunity, as small as they may be, that he can find. But he has not had a lot of chances, and the two big ones that I pointed out that he did have, it just has not cooperated. Marco negated one of them with smart play, and the other was just an RNG situation that did not get there. Kuhn at this point, that's his final calm mine, maximum boosts. Freeze super necessary there for Star, doesn't find it. Surf, S-Toss, gives Star a small window to go for the power or the freeze again. There's Surf, Bliss at 9%. There's your T-Wave. What's the play, Star? How do we get there? Just a million powers in a row is what we're fishing for? Well, there's one. Not quite a million, but let's start with one. S-Toss again. Nope. There's a rest. A longer game here, 140 turns, and Star obviously this close to the money doesn't want to concede, but any window that he may have had is either completely closed or damn close to close. He obviously has not deemed this match utterly, completely lost, utterly, completely over, or he would have just conceded. He thinks he's got a chance, however small, so might as well play for it, but that window is as small as Jabba's penis at this point. Very, very tiny. And now with the Bliss going down, I don't know that it's winnable at all. Hidden Power, 21%. That is not going to do it. There's a Surf. Even a crit Hidden Power at this point would not be good enough. And there is the concession. Marco P gets the monkey off his back for the first time in CALLOUS Invitational after 4 years of trying. Manages to win money in this tour. How much yet to be determined as he faces ABR in the winner's bracket finals. And then Starmaster, the tournament favorite, who has had his way with Marco P repeatedly, beaten him 3 times that I'm aware of in big matches, finally falls against Marco and goes down to the lower bracket. Starmaster can still definitely make money, likely the favorite in the lower bracket and very likely to make money still, but nevertheless is going to have to fight 2 more opponents before he can get there. Marco P with a 2-0 victory over Starmaster. This one on the longer side, but like I said, just a matchup thing, a matchup fish, anti-spikes. As it turns out, not against the spikes team. Probably not ideal for Star to begin with. That plus a little bit of luck for Marco is going to be good enough. 2-0 for Marco P. One of our money finishers this year alongside ABR, the third of which yet to be determined. Marco and ABR can play whenever, but they'll probably take the week off this coming week and play the following week. In the meantime, since this is the final match, you guys should know the brackets. The lower bracket players are, in just the order that I think of them, not any specific order, H-Clat, Starmaster, Johnny G2, and Altina. Only one of those 4 players is going to make money in this tour. Can't wait to see how that all plays out. If you've enjoyed the tour so far, please do hit a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you've not done so already. If you want to join my Discord server where all this stuff happens in real time, feel free to do that as well. Link in the description. And of course, we are still appreciatively accepting donations if you want to contribute and help get us over the $2,200 hump to beat Blunder Tour. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.